Really, it's the seventh grade. It's seventh grade. So it's right now. Is it going now? Oh, okay. I thought this was going to be for the committee. Yeah, I mean, not the tours. Yeah. Oh, the tours. It's great. For things to come there tomorrow night.
Okay.
How's everything? Doing all right? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you still with me?
Thank you. Oh, not that I
That's okay.
Raymond, okay, that's good.
Taught 34 years since I was
1940s that were here, but I see we have grown. Let me say, as I did, you hear what Gloria said? Which way? Let me initiate my comments by the introductory remark that I had for the group that was here earlier. Welcome back home, because we really appreciate your presence here. And when Joe, Mr. Renaud, informed me of the reunion of his class and that we were going to be combining classes, I said that's outstanding and fantastic, because we need you to come and share with our students your goals, as I mentioned, and your successes that you have had throughout the year. Because one of the main focuses that we have here at Lanier High School, and obviously what better example than yourselves, that we strive for our students to understand that graduating from high school is a given. Their goals should focus on what are we going to do after we graduate from high school. And that's the message that we need to convey to our students on a regular basis. Since you, ladies and gentlemen, left Lanier High School, we made some changes, obviously, as you walked in, you saw that. But we're going to show you what Lanier is all about now, what it was, and what is still here. And you'll see what I'm talking about once we have a little Cook's tour of our campus. After the Cook's tour, we'll proceed to the auditorium where we'll have an assembly with juniors, seniors, and some freshmen and sophomores scattered amongst the class that will be in attendance. After which we will have lunch at the Plato del Sol. But let me share with you one other change that we have had here in our community. That is working intricately with some some businesses, corporate businesses here in San Antonio. And we have been fortunate to an extent because of one major corporation in San Antonio. Fortunate because they could have gone to any other campus in the city, but they selected the Lanier cluster to work with us. And for the last 6 years, USAA has been working with Lanier High School in the capacity of providing mentors. They are also our corporate sponsors with the San Antonio Education Partnership. For those who might not know what the partnership is a coalition of several entities in our community, amongst them the Greater Chamber of Commerce, the Mayor's Office, the COPS organizations in our area, the colleges and universities here in town, and the Greater Chamber of Commerce, as I said earlier, plus obviously the schools. And what this program does, it provides for any graduate from 8 high schools, of which Lanier is one of them, if they graduate with an 80 academic average and 95% attendance, a full financial aid package to any college and university here in town. And our corporate sponsor, USAA Federal Savings Bank, is providing $60,000 a year for 5 years, a total of $300,000 that they're providing for our students, and obviously the partnership as a whole, to take advantage of this particular program. And we have with us a gentleman who is with USAA, who is a liaison between our faculty and the mentorship programs we have on our campus. That is Mr. Hector Luna.
It's an honor to be here with you this morning. The classes of the 40s, my God, what wisdom that you have had in all these years. Let me just close by saying this on behalf of USAA and all the employees that work there. Thank you for welcoming us here in Mendoza. And I just want to close with this. We bring employees here to work with our students. And I say they're our students because we belong to the Lanier family. But let me encourage you, please consider mentoring, because these kids one-on-one could use mentoring. Every one of you that I can see have something to offer to these kids. Your experience, lessons learned, things that you learned during the war. I heard some conversations right there about what it was like during the war. These students need to hear it from your own heart, from your own voices, from what it was like then. Pave the way for their future. I just want to close with that. Hopefully someday you might consider being a part again with Lanier to come and be with a student one-on-one. God bless you for coming. It's good to see y'all. Boy, y'all look sharp.
Well, they must adhere to our dress code, and let me check each and every one of them. Seriously, you know what I'm talking about, because we had a very strict dress code, and we still do. Let me share this with you. The traditions have continued here at Lanier High. We are, if not the only school in the universe that still has a dress code. We do not allow anything that is outlandish. We don't allow any earrings. I've always told our young man that earrings are more appropriate for young men. We don't allow long hair beyond the top of a dress shirt and collar. We don't allow any, for example, steel-toed boots and any of these different, or shall we say, the T-shirts that have any kind of gory, grotesque type of figures and emblems on them. So we feel that it's very, very important for one thing. The first impression that anyone gets of anybody else is when they meet each other and they see how they're dressed. And I think it's critical. Let me share this one story with you. Over the years, I've been involved with different type of groups, particularly with the National Association of Secondary School Principals. We had a committee which worked with urban schools, and we would discussing different programs, how can we improve our lot and student achievement. And amongst the principals that we had, I was fortunate to be part of that group amongst principals from Denver, Colorado, from Philadelphia, from New York, from Miami, from Minneapolis, Minnesota, from Houston, here in Texas and Dallas. And we had mentors, or in other words, college professors that would talk with us and discuss some of our plans and goals. And obviously, all of the schools were inner city schools. And I never said anything about Lanier except that yes, it was inner city, the number of students. Because when our mentor came to us after they had visited all these other places, he just stood in awe, her mouth wide open, and said, "The school is so clean." Our reaction was, "Shouldn't it be?" No graffiti. Should there be? The students are so clean cut. Shouldn't they be? Stereotyping. Because they had been in other inner city schools. There was no one who set their foot down and said, "This is the way it's going to be." They saw all of these unfortunate situations where they expected all inner city schools to be the same. We're fortunate in the San Antonio Independent School District that that's not the case. Because we have, as you will know, very strict rules and requirements as far as what we expect our students. And it goes back to expectation. We expect the best from our students. That's how the students are going to conduct it. And that's the philosophy that we employ here at Lanier High School. So I just want to make you aware that everything is the same. So welcome back home.
I was just going to say something. We have our mentors coming in today with our students. When you finish with your assembly, and if you have the opportunity to meet with mentors that are with their students, please thank them, because they come here on their days off. So if you have that opportunity so they can see a Lanier graduate from the 40s, you are a diamond and a jewel, and you make an impression on our mentors. But please come by here and join us. Thank you very much.
Where will they be here?
They
Yes,
will
sir.
be here.
We'll be meeting here
Or in
after.
the cafeteria, one of the two. They're going to be eating lunch with their students. There'll be about 80 some odd mentors here for you to say. So please, thank you.
But let me say this as an educator, that mentoring is fantastic, and I would be hoping that some of us would volunteer as mentors. It was very well stated by Mr. Mendoza, the gentleman from the USAA. I hope that some of us can come back and provide that type of service. I have some speakers that after we do the tour, I need to remind you that you'll have some chairs on the stage, and I just want to make that very clear. Margaret Aguilar Suarez needs to be on the stage. Berta Acosta, Berta Rodriguez just came in, and Pedro Cáceres needs to be up on the stage. George San Miguel, Colonel San Miguel, I haven't seen him. Our valedictorian, Emilio Villegas, will say a few words. Johnny Rodriguez, great trumpeter from many years ago. He'll be up there. Pharmacist, Rudy Rodriguez. Where's Rudy? Aquí está Rudy. Stand up. He'll be up on the stage. And Armando Valderrama. Armando, former coach of 30 some odd years at Edgewood. They'll have some words for the seniors, and I asked Mr. Mendoza if we could have some of their seniors to respond to some of the remarks that would be made by some of you. I don't know what remarks some of you are going to make, except Margaret. Margaret is very nervous, so she said, "Can I read my speech to you?" And she's got some great comments, but she was very reluctant. She said, "I've never spoken," but she's been an exemplary family. All her kids have gone on to college, and she's done Albert and Margaret have done a fantastic job with her family. I'm very impressed, and her quiet way of doing things could be very impressive. Probably the most impressive of all of them, talking to seniors, and she's not a speech maker. But after the program, we'll come back for lunch, and that should be it. We're passing 3 sheets around for your names and addresses, because some of you may want to get together somebody was saying, we've been meeting, the class of 44 has been meeting at my house. And they were making a comment that we ought to meet maybe once a year. If you all do mentoring, I'll be glad to meet with you more often because it's very inspiring to have you sit with some of the students. And some of you are very prepared to sit with some of the students and help them along. I mean, math and science always scares the heck out of us, right? And here's a pharmacist for a lifetime, retired pharmacist, that could be a fantastic inspiration for some of the students who wanted to get into the medical area, for some of the science area, some of the math area. Emilio, our valedictorian, would have some fantastic opportunities to help some of us. Some of the rest of you that are sitting out there that I don't know about, but we'll see you tomorrow night. And if any of you want to ask anything at this point, Lord?
Yeah. As someone that has stayed involved with the San Antonio School District, as Mr. Mendoza knows, Mr. Mendoza and I served on the San Antonio City Council of PTA this past year. I served as president for 2 years, and Mr. Mendoza as parliamentarian. And we've been on the board together. We know the needs in the school district, and we have followed the mentoring program. I, for one, am very close to the mentoring program over at Cooper and at Tafoya, where my daughter is a mentor. And all these people that might have a few minutes of their time, just once a week, this is very important to our students. I know that we, this past year, the San Antonio City Council of PTA gave 8 scholarships, one to a student in each of the 8 high schools in the SAIC. And if y'all have any extra money and extra funds that would like to make a contribution, Lanier also has scholarships. And please do so. It's very, very important that we continue educating our students. That's all I have.
Be sure and turn your sheets, your sign-in sheets, to Socorro, who's been the prime organizer for all the classes of 49 to 44. She's really been a go-getter. She's really been after us, and she's been a tremendous help to organize the effort. So turn in the sheets to her, and in behalf of all the class of 44 and some of the people that were brought in by the class of 44 people, I want to thank Mr. Mendoza personally, because from the very first day that we mentioned this event, he said, hey, the school's open to you. I want you back. I want you to come back and take a good look at the school. And I hope better things come of it. Not just this visit today, but better things so that we can relate back to the year. And mentoring would be a perfect way to do it.
I can vouch for that he's such a wonderful host. Anytime we come in here for a meeting, ladies, the coffee, the Coke, and whatever y'all need, just let us know. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
On behalf of all the 40 classes aside of the 44, I want to thank also Mr. Mendoza for allowing us to come in, especially letting the out-of-towners, some of you that left here long ago have not seen the changes here at Lanier. And don't forget Saturday, 6 o'clock, the whole thing starts rolling again. Don't forget the day.
May I impose on you? I've met many of you. I'd like to, for each and every one of you, just to give me your lady's maiden name and gentleman and the year that you graduated. Would you please do that for
Bertha, you want to start with you?
Bertha Costa, 1944. My husband, Tom.
She used to be Rodriguez. Bertha Rodriguez.
Bertha Rodriguez. Hortense Oviedo Mora, 1944.
Emilio Villegas, 1944. This is my wife.
Maria Curiel, Roy's wife, 44. 44, Evangeline Garcia Rosario. Lupe Granado Durán, 48.
Luisa Martinez, 48.
Elena Maria Campbell, 48. My husband, and I was a school teacher for 38 years.
Elvira Ríos Gómez, 48. My husband, Joe.
Cornelia Orona, Warner, and this is my husband, Joe. I graduated in 1947.
Remedios Corona Faria, graduated in 1944. This is my husband, Jesse Faria.
Lina Martinez Porter, I graduated in 1940.
Mayor.
I graduated 41.
Gloria Martinez Ehrlich, class 48.
Lucille Ehrlich Morales, I graduated in 1944.
Gentlemen.
Lilia Ibarra Gonzalez, 1948.
Ignacio Villarreal, class of 46. Raymond Menchaca, class of 47.
Amelia Aguilar Menchaca, 1945.
Margaret Aguilar, class of 1944, and my husband Albert.
I'm Johnny Rodriguez. Would have been class of 45. Would have been. I'll explain it later.
Manuel Ramon, class of 43.
I'm in the same class that Johnny was. We got called into the Army. 44 and a half.
44 and a half.
44 and a half, right?
Amador Aguilar, colloquial dropout.
Susana Tello Rodriguez, class of 46.
Raul Garcia, class of 48. I'm that skinny runt who used to drive the Model T around town.
Luis Rodriguez, class of 46.
And I guess I'm the oldest one, Susie Salazar Gonzalez, class of 40.
Class of
44 and a half.
44 and a half. I joined the service during World War II. Came back in 47 and graduated in 48.
And I'm Alice Salazar Valderrama. I graduated in 47, and if he hadn't gone and come back, I would have never met him.
Margaret Salazar Cárdenas, class of 1942.
Excuse me, Mr. Mendez, my husband also was an educator for 38 years. And besides that, he went with Joe Bernal, and they used to coach for Guadalupe Community Center and Inman Christian Center. So all would still be there if he hadn't had gotten
Angelina Hernandez Martinez, class of 42. My husband Joe.
Lupe Sanchez Mezano, and I'm from East Chicago, Indiana. I worked with the school system there through the lunchroom, through everything. And there's a Carmelite home in our area, so I've been counselor and helped with the girls as a counselor, Girl Scout, the whole deal.
class of 42.
I'm Esther Martinez Ibarra, class of 44. This is my husband Martin.
Pete Cazares, my wife Emma. 1944.
Well, yeah. Now, everybody introduce themselves and everyone is here. Well, this guy here. Who he is.
Class of 44.
Oh, my
We're going to have a treat. Mary is going to play the piano for Pedro Casares. Mary Esther still works for the San Luis School District, but she's going to play for Pedro Casares, and Pedro Casares is going to treat us. And then we have a surprise from Johnny Rodriguez also at a later time in our program. And Mary Esther is going to play the piano. And I'm glad you're here.
I was the one that used to sing Canción del Alma in the auditorium. And I was the one that won a 12-minute speech essay on the Constitution of the Painted World and won a gold medal. I still have it.
I'm Socorro Orola Aguilar, and I'm from the class of 1948, and very proud of it.
All right. Has everybody signed their names here?
Thank you, Pete.
All right. If we are ready, let me go and give you a quick story before we go to the auditorium. Well, let me first start at the auditorium, and then we'll circle around and get back to the auditorium. So if you follow me, start.
You gotta have something to eat.
How you been,
I know that And I haven't saved it. You were the Wonderland children. Oh, I'd be glad to. Yeah. When I moved to Mr. Reitman, he was here. And he had the envelopes and the letters. I haven't saved some of them, but my daughter took the others.
You know, ever since then, I've been keys. I can get a leaf key.
And they're all
different.
You know, when I found out
Make us feel good. We got something to look forward to. I am so glad I finally met you. And talking to you on the phone, I thought, how much you like to make
May I have your attention, please? Let me welcome you to a very special assembly. We are privileged to have with us this morning a very distinguished group of alumni. An alumni, for the benefit of our students who will not understand that term, is a former student or students at Lanier High School. And particularly are we fortunate because these ladies and gentlemen that are joining us this morning were graduates from Lanier High School during the 1940s. In some instances, ladies and gentlemen, before your parents were born. What does that mean? What does that entail? What? That is true. Let me make candid about that. They are older than you are, yes. However, one other point. They have tremendous experiences, tremendous challenges, which we all have, barriers, which some of you might not even know about, that they overcame. They met these challenges head first and achieved outstanding success during their life. But one outstanding feature of the success is that they were graduates of Lanier High School. And the purpose of this assembly is for them to convey to you what it means to have been a student at Lanier High School. And as the MC and master ceremonies for the classes of 1940s, we have a gentleman who not only distinguished himself in the field of education, because he was a former assistant superintendent, teacher, coach, principal, but also was a state legislator, represented our community, our area in Austin, a member of our Hall of Fame, a distinguished member of our Hall of Fame. So without any further ado, let me present to you our Master of Ceremonies, former Senator Joe Bernard.
Many years ago, I had a student say, I didn't ruco, because I used to teach school, and I never felt being a ruco, but it's been 50 years since most of us graduated here, and we're just very happy to be back to this high school that has so many fine thoughts for all of us. I'd like to introduce, I would love to introduce everybody by name, but that would take all morning. So I want to ask, we have some people from the class of 42. We have one person from the class of 1940. We have one from 42. Most of the rest of them are from 44, but we have some from 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Would you all stand up and turn around and let the students look at you? Let me see if I can do something that would kind of place an overview on where we were when we came here. It was a year that Franklin Delano Roosevelt was the President of the United States. He was on his third term. It had never happened before, and I don't think it ever will, because we're limited to 2 terms for each president. But because of the war, Franklin Delano Roosevelt was permitted to run for a 3rd term. He was the president at the time. We were in high school. We were at war against Japan, against Germany, and against Mussolini. Those were the 3 enemies: Adolf Hitler, Hirohito, and Mussolini. And that's where we went to war, to try to get rid of those 3. At that time, the dress of the young people, the girls dressed in bobby socks. This is the United States, with the shirt tails out. The boys wore loafers with loose pants, dangling shirt tails, and crew cut. We on the west side of San Antonio wore boogie pants. They were so small at the bottom that we couldn't take them off unless we took off our shoes. They used to call us pachucos. The girls began to babysit during those years because Mama was at work for the first time ever in the history of this country. The mamas took off to work because the dads were at war. So the young ladies used to make money babysitting. The music at that time, because we didn't have TV, was a jukebox. And the jukebox carried on tunes like Elmer's Tune, Mares y Goats, I'll Walk Alone because my husband or my wife or whoever has gone to war. And Jukebox Saturday Night, you're going to hear two of those songs by one of our seniors of 1944. We used to dance jitterbug, and one of the best ones that used to dance jitterbug is on the stage, Armando Valderrama, and he's going to talk to you. We used to dance to Harry James, Glenn Miller, Tommy Dorsey, Lionel Hampton. The girls, though, they went crazy for a guy by the name of Frank Sinatra. Baby blue eyes, they used to call it. I'm just trying to make our class of 44 feel at home. The heroes at that time, of course, was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who brought the Alas Apache courts to San Antonio in 1941. General Douglas MacArthur. In baseball, we had two big heroes, bigger than life, Joe DiMaggio and Babe Ruth. And then we had people like, on the girls' side, on the gender side, on the female side, people like Clara Barton, Doris Day, Florence Nightingale, Louisa May Alcott. For our own heroes, because so many of our students were leading our class, and some of the ones that you're going to see here did graduate with our class, but would have graduated with our class, but they decided to volunteer and go in the Army. Our heroes for San Antonio were a guy by the name of Cleto Rodriguez, who just lived on Durango Street, and he was a big hero because he had won the Medal of Honor. We had Mike Machado, who's a judge who graduated from Lanier and came back all burned, and he's a judge, a graduate of Lanier in 1942. We had Jesse Saldana, who was also a war hero. And we had the youngest lieutenant in the United States, a graduate of 1939 from Lanier by the name of Daniel Rodriguez, who later on became a teacher at Trinity University. For us, and I'll stop a little bit of the history, but for us, just imagine, we had an old school. Lovingly, we used to call it Lagada. Hey, you don't look like Lagada. We just toured the school. It's fantastic. And I just want to congratulate all of you. You beat Tech. We didn't beat Tech. You beat Tech. But just to cap it, after the football game, we would go to Casa Grande here on Brazos of Guadalupe. Some of the ones that lived on la Tripa Flaca de la calle Guadalupe para allá, and those that lived in la Tripa Gorda para acá, you know, where the streets were paved, they used to go to Buena Vista to the mall shop. And then we had, because we didn't have TV, we had a Progreso Theater. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, it was a 2-penny show for women. On Wednesday, we had a 2-for-1. Y siempre we used to hang around there. Oiga, maestro, ¿puedo entrar con usted? If somebody didn't have a partner, we could go in free on a 2-for-1. And we had a new theater in town. That was the Guadalupe Theater. That was brand new. Anyway, that was the west side of San Antonio with a brand new Alasana Pacha. And there was something else that I want to leave you with. It was an era of basketball in Lanier. Lanier had a great team in 1939 and great teams in 43. I was on the team in 44. We were undefeated. We lost one game and won regional. We lost one game to the state champs by 2 points. The following year, we won again. And some of these people are here. Some of these people are represented with our class. Anyway, Mr. Mendoza has made our visit here a very welcome visit. And I want to thank him on behalf of the class of 44 and all of the rest. Let's hear from some of our class of 44 people. The first one on the lineup is Margaret Aguilar. Now Margaret Suarez. She was in the orchestra. She was public speaking secretary when she was in high school. She was shorthand vice president. She had won a typist award. She was on the yearbook, and she was a member of the Royal Blues. And she has a few words to you. Margaret Aguilar Suarez.
Staff, seniors, and 1944 graduates, I feel honored and very happy to have this opportunity to come before you for our 1950th class reunion. After graduation, I became a secretary and bookkeeper, and eventually I became self-employed as a bookkeeper, income tax practitioner, and real estate broker. My husband and I raised 5 daughters, and we felt that education was going to be their first priority in life. So we encouraged them to pursue a college education. Subsequently, they earned their bachelor's degree. 3 have their master's degree. 1 is an environmental scientist with the U.S. EPA. Another is a research scientist at UT Health Science Center. 2 are in the educational system. 1 teaches in the elementary level, and the other teaches chemistry in the high school level. Another daughter selected a career in business management and is now a supervisor. It has been 50 years since we last walked the hallways and grounds of Sydney Lanier High School. It is obvious what the school district has done to improve and ensure that a student has quality education and the ability to strive for personal excellence as responsible individuals. Seniors, in 1995, you will have accomplished your goal when you receive your high school diploma. But in this ever-changing world, we encourage you to continue your education so that you may succeed in all your endeavors for a successful career and prosperous future. Que Dios los bendiga como nos ha bendecido a nosotros. Gracias.
Some unfortunate things have happened to some of us. Our next speaker had a bad case of diabetes and lost his toes. But let me tell you, he was the best jitterbug dancer in San Antonio as far as I'm concerned. He ended up being a coach at Edgewood for some 34 years, 38 years. Armando Valderrama. Armando.
I'm glad to be here with all of you, and I'm real proud of being an ex-vote, and congratulate all of you for your attendance here today. Thanks for Mr. Mendoza. And it's just like a dream come true, you know. I thought I would never ever come back in after I graduated here. I left the school. I left my school in 1944 because of World War II, and I thought that if I weren't in it, you know, that they might not get the job done. So I left and I got back here in 1948, and I said, what am I going to do now? And I found out that the United States would send me to college and finish my high school first and then go on to college. And then if I wanted to get my master's, probably could get through it, I mean, with the help of the United States. And when I got back here, I worked here and there, and then I said to myself, hey, there's got to be something better than this. So I came back to school. Unbelievable as it may be, I came back to school, graduated, because you needed at that, in those days, you needed to have a diploma for the fact that you had graduated from high school. I came back and stayed here a year and a half and went on to college, graduated from Princeton University. And then I decided to say, what do I want to do? Do I want to coach? Do I want to do my master's? I mean, I received a social work degree. And I said, well, maybe I can do both, coaching and social work, which I decided to do after I graduated. And I looked in the San Antonio Independent School District, and there were no openings yet at that time, at particular time. And so then I went on to Edgewood, and they hired me, and then I stayed there 38 years at Edgewood and John F. Kennedy. And I became both a social worker and a coach. So I got to do what I wanted to do. And coming back to finish up at Lanier was the hardest thing, but, you know, in other words, they expected too much from me, and I wasn't ready even to come back to school again. So I had too much reading, being in the service. But I'm glad that I came back, and then I went on to college, came here to teach in my city. And it wasn't an easy thing. But I had a lot of people that probably guided me. There was a man that probably all of them have not known, maybe some of them have known, and there was Mr. Luna from Mexican Christian Institute. It's now Even Christy said, yeah, I forgot something. And he's the one that inspired all of us to, if you lived in this neighborhood, inspired us to get a college degree, college education, and then go on and help the people that we needed to help, the Mexican. And I'm grateful that I did that, and I spent 38 years doing that. Besides working at MCI, I worked, when I came back out of the service and had to go to college, I worked 3 jobs. I worked at a grocery store, worked at an Indian Christian Center, and worked at Trinity University. So, for those that want to succeed in life, want to go to college and all that, I think the best thing, would be to go to service. I'm not promoting the service either, but if you want to, in other words, a help or a need or whatever, a push, and they gave me that push, and I'm really grateful to them. I didn't think that I could do college work, but after I came back, and I guess I was a little bit more mature, and my teachers here would really help me a lot. And I went on to do and become what I am today. Because I'm still thinking of going back to teaching after I get through with all this surgery and treatment and whatever. But I've never been one to give up that easily. So I will continue to fight. And like my coaches used to say, my coaches, here at Lanier used to say, don't give up. And one I would say, viva los hopes.
Armando very modestly left out a little bit what Alice and Armando have done. Of their 6 children, all of them graduated from college. Alice, would you stand up? Where's Alice? There you go. fellow that played football with Armando. Armando was a half miler. Rui Rodriguez was a very, very fine athlete that also struggled mightily. Got a pharmacist degree, and he and his wife, Susie, who also graduated from Lanier, ended up with 5 children, again, all 5 of them with college degrees. And let's hear it from Rui Rodriguez.
Allowing me to speak to you. I want to congratulate all the seniors that you're coming to the course with. Please try to choose the right road. Education. I was born here in San Antonio, and my father died when I was 3 months old. I was raised in a little small town about 170 miles east of here. And I left that town because I was considered a second, third-class citizen. Came to Lanier and I was real proud. On my junior year, at the end of my junior year, I quit and joined the U.S. Navy. When I was 17 years old, I was presently quit to the Philippines. From the Philippines, we went to Calilo, which was an island 2 miles wide and 5 miles long. After securing the island from the Japanese who lived there for 15 years, I had a lot of time on my hands. So with the help of Mr. Boyle, I started taking these ESAPI courses, which are considered correspondence courses. And I managed to graduate. With my class. After getting my discharge from the Navy, I had a 60-day furlough. On the second day of my furlough, I went to work in the packing house. The packing house was a place where I used to work every summer to build myself a football. From there on, after a year's work there, I hurt myself, so I decided to better myself and join some friends, Lanier friends, and into the University of Texas. I had a hard time. And with their help and tutors, and my determination, I took courses like comparative anatomy, zoology, bacteriology, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, quantitative chemistry, pharmaceutical organic chemistry, pharmaceutical inorganic chemistry, physics, pharmaceutical quantitative chemistry. Then all of a sudden, in my senior year, something happened. I got married. And all of a sudden, we were expecting a child, so I had to drop out of school. And with the help of a real good friend, Mr. April Perez from Progressive Drugstore, he says, Rudy, go back to school and finish, and whatever you need. I took 21 hours for the semester. I made 6 days in a week. That was real proud. I managed the summer stores for 7 years. Then I also encountered second and third places here in San Antonio. So I went to work for Walgreens, and I helped open the North Shore Mall. All of a sudden, they wanted me to go to Puerto Rico. My wife said, no, you will stay right here. And I did. And then all of a sudden I wanted to, if I could make money for these people, I could make money for my own self. And with $1,000, $800 in the bank, $200 petty cash, and a $60,000 mortgage on my back, I worked for 5 years from 7 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night for 5 years straight, rain or shine. And then I was real successful and I hired another extra million funds. And from that time on, I owned my own business, which is across the street from the Mission St. Jose Trust. I have a doctor's clinic and an attorney's office. And back today, and you people have more abundance of grants, loans, scholarships, which we didn't have. If I can make it, I don't see why not any of you can make it with a lot of determination and faith. Thank you.
Sorry, we're running short of time. I want to ask Pedro Cáceres to sing a song with Mary Esther, my wife. She's going to be at the piano, and Pedro Cáceres is going to sing one of the songs that used to be very popular during that time. I think you'll enjoy it. And then we're going to close with Johnny's ensemble, Johnny Rodriguez. With Johnny Rodriguez and the trumpet and an ensemble from the high school, and close with that one.
You nice people, lazy river. Up that lazy river, by the old mill run, that great river, in the noonday sun, in nursing shade, I will be from a
and I'm going to introduce her. And she was supposed to have a speaking part, and Emilio Villegas. And let me say something about Bertha. She used to be the head of the Blue Jackets, the lieutenant colonel, back in the year. Bertha Rodriguez, class of 44. And then we also have our valedictorian. We're not going to hear from our valedictorian, Emilio Villegas, but he's here, Emilio. Okay, school song, Johnny Rodriguez, and trumpet, Johnny Rodriguez, class of 44.
I have about a 2-hour speech ready to read. but I'm not going to do it, okay? I can't tell you any war stories because I was 18 after the war, and my mother was glad about that, to tell you the truth. I waited 50 years to say this because next year, if they have a 1945 reunion, the 50th anniversary of 1945, I will not be. I'm here as a guest. I'm supposed to have graduated in 1945. And some of these people might not even know it, but I did not graduate. And I won't go into that story, but I transferred. I didn't drop out. I went to high school, and I transferred, and I graduated from TMI in 1945. In fact, next month, we're going to celebrate our 50th wedding. We're going to celebrate our 50th anniversary graduation next month. That's the material. My wife said, be sure you're going to tell them about what to do, not about your life. But this is what I want to tell you. You work hard. Whatever you're doing, studying, working, every day is the same, rain or shine, cold, hungry, disgusted, whatever. You work at it, and someday you'll be repaid. And another important thing, you have to be lucky. If you don't have any luck, all those certifications and degrees and all that are not any good. I wanted to be band director of this school 10 years after I left. I didn't make it. But I made it 20 years later. I came back, I was band director here from 1964 to 1978. I left principal and night school. Principal of night school at Tech, director of fine arts, all the band directors, orchestra, and everybody in the whole district. In the San Antonio School District, I spent 30 years teaching. And I'm still teaching in the middle schools as a consultant. And you know, they say the best for last. All right. And you're fortunate because no one will be here next year. Maybe it's invited. I don't know if they're going to invite me. I'm a hero. Okay? I have Mr. Segovia, which, by the way, was a student in the band in 64-5 and graduated in 67. He is now your band director. Mr. Luis Segovia and me, the drum section. We're going to have a mini drum party! It was corny. Listen to it. I mean, it was bad. Boom balaka, see, boom, bam. Lanier, Lanier, rah, rah, rah. That was great. Hey, let me hear the ponies get up and say it. All the ponies get up. All the graduates get up, get up, get up. Ready, go. Boom balaka. We didn't even have a chili bowl. Our rivals were Edison, or was Edison. And Edison was our rivals. And if you went to the chili bowl, there's Frank Sepulveda, who graduated in 1945. And her picture is there, and the program. He would have been, he's a graduate of 45. He was the Paul Luna was a star football player in 1944. Paul Luna. Frank Sepulveda was a star back in 1945. Okay? Now, this is the one we're going to learn. Everybody get up. Up, up. Everybody students. Ready? Okay. Here we go. We're going to do this one very soft, louder, louder, and go. Listen. Let's I was here 15 years, and 5 as a student. I spent more time than all these people. 20 years, 1/3 of my life, I have been here. Listen, L-L-L-A-N-I. Wait with the drum. Let's learn it first. Ready? 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 Very soft from the start. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. L-A-N-I-E-R. Lanier, Lanier, 555. Okay? Ready? Very soft. 1, 2, 3, go. Everybody.
your student council president, class of 1995. My question to her, do you think some of you seniors of 1995 will come back 50 years from now, Leslie?
First of all, I would like to thank all the class of 1944 for coming. Happy 50th anniversary. I would also like to thank all the speakers here today. You have lots of enthusiasm for the students. Thank you. The question is, will we be here for our 50th anniversary? I personally think so, because Lanier High School is very important to us, to the seniors, sophomores, juniors, and freshmen. So I can't wait to be here my 50th anniversary. Thank you.
On behalf of the faculty, administration, our student body, and our community, how can we express in words the feelings that we have for the message, the presence of our classes of 1940? Let us give them a Lanier welcome again. Thank you very much for your Thank you very much for being here. And at this time, our students are dismissed to go to lunch. And if your class will stay here, we'll give you directions.